Trial for the former LMPD officer who fired blindly into Breonna Taylor's apartment is underway. Brett Hankerson is accused of using excessive force when he fired 10 rounds into Taylor's apartment. His bullets also entered a neighboring apartment where a young child was sleeping. A Jefferson County jury acquitted Hankerson on state charges for endangering Taylor's next door neighbor last year, where they're in the courtroom right now. But with this being federal, cameras and phones are not allowed. As more of this story develops from the trial, we'll bring the latest updates on air and online at WHAS11.com. The man who owned that Highview home, once filled with dangerous explosives, was in court today. Mark Hibble faces one endangerment and burglary charges in connection to the chemicals discovered on that Applegate Lane property about 3 months ago. His attorneys argue he had the chemicals because he and a partner were going into business to sell them. As the EPA wrapped up its controlled demolition of that house last week, we learned well over 100 different chemicals were found in that house. Hibble is out of jail on bond. A judge had previously ordered him to get immediate treatment for his mental health. He's set to appear in court once again on January 16th. General Motors has reached a tentative agreement with UAW that could end a 6-week strike. The deal follows the pattern set with both Ford last week and Jeep maker Stellantis over the weekend. GM's deal will last 4 years and 8 months, include 25% general pay raises and cost of living adjustments. Combined, they bring that wage increase to over 30% over the life of that contract. Before today, the union added a factory in Tennessee to the strike list in an effort to turn up the pressure. GM was the last company to reach a deal. And included in that deal, Ford is investing more than $8 billion in its plants. That includes $1.2 billion for 2 plants here in Kentuckiana. The money will go toward ramping up new electric vehicle production at the Louisville assembly plant and pick up an SUV production at the Kentucky truck plant. The investment also includes money for KTP to start churning out hybrid versions of the Ford Expedition and Lincoln Navigator. Well, make sure you download the WHAS11 app for all updates on these agreements between the big three. Well, right now, police are trying to track down the driver involved in a deadly hit and run in the Beachmont neighborhood. Police said it happened around 11 o'clock on Friday night at the intersection of Taylor Boulevard and Bicknell Avenue. They said a man driving a moped died when he was hit by a car. The traffic unit used video and witnesses to determine a red Dodge sedan was involved, which was found abandoned about 2 blocks away. Anyone with information is asked to call that anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. A house in the Portland neighborhood, a total loss today after a car crashed into it, then caught fire over the weekend. It happened just before 2 o'clock yesterday at 24th and Main. The Louisville Fire Department says the car hit the gas and electric meters there attached to the house. Fortunately, no one was in the home at the time, and the driver was not injured. Crews were able to extinguish those flames within about 15 minutes. In other news, drug overdoses in the Commonwealth are on the decline. A report recently out from the Justice and Public Safety Cabinet says overdose deaths in 2022 were down 5% from the year before. And while that is a significant decrease, the data paints a different picture for Black Kentuckians. Our Taylor Woods spoke to the Louisville Recovery Center about this health disparity.
Fentanyl has become one of the leading opioid addictions, making addiction difficult to recover from.
Fentanyl is in everything. I mean, it's in everything. I mean, they're putting it in marijuana, in vapes, in pills. And as a parent, it's absolutely terrifying.
Although Kentucky has faced a 5% decrease in total overdose deaths in 2022 compared to 2021, the Kentucky Justice and Public Safety Cabinet reports an 8% increase in opioid overdose deaths among Black Kentuckians.
That's a big number, 8% in a short period of time. We attribute that to the rise and the expansion of fentanyl.
Patrick Dunn, owner of Louisville Recovery Center, says the lack of access to health care is to blame. The Kentucky Opioid Abatement Advisory Commission has been working closely with Black communities to fund grants.
It's a lot harder to find cultural appropriate services. That is definitely something that we feel that we can help remedy with the help of some of the opioid abatement funding.
In 2022, state data showed Black Kentuckians dying at a rate of 25.9 per 100,000 from overdose compared to 15.2 in 2021. Dunn says to prevent less deaths, it starts with educating younger people.
Talking about it, talking about drug use, giving access to treatment at middle school and adolescent and high school ages. Early intervention.
He added there is light at the end of the tunnel.
And even if you've tried before and you slipped up and you're back again, just keep fighting.
Dunn encourages people to reach out for support and treatment. In Louisville, Taylor Woods, WHAS11 Night Team on your side.
If you or someone you love is struggling with addiction, help is always available. You can call that number there on your screen any time of day, 24/7. We also have a list of resources online at WHAS11.com.